get all your information regarding Medicare, Social Security retirement benefits, and SSI. We have a lot to talk about. We have a lot of things that's happening. So, as usual, I'm asking for your prayers to help us during this readjustment, as I would call it, a period of readjustment. So, in case you have not been listening, we are moving to a new location, and we will be announcing the new location and the name of the new clinic very soon. So, what we plan on doing is probably next Wednesday. Hopefully, we have everything done. And next Wednesday, to have a 2-hour show, we probably broadcast live, simulcast. And what we want to do is open we will open the phone lines, and for any of you who have questions regarding what we're doing, the new clinic, we're going to open the line and take questions regarding that. As usual, everything that I do it in full transparency. It's so that we make sure that our patients are well informed about what we're doing. And, 9 times out of 10, even when we take a decision in terms of regarding a plan, regarding any adjustment that we think that might be better suited for our clients, our patients, sometimes the patients override us. So what I want to do is put it out there and have the patient ask question, and we'll be more than happy. Those that we're able to answer, we'll be more than happy to answer. I think I might have our lawyer on deck, so to respond, to allow us the question that to let us know what we can and cannot answer. So that's an idea, but I don't know if we'll be able to pay him for 2 hours of service. But we'll work something out. But anyway, with all joke aside, that's the plan. And so anybody that's calling me right now, I'm on air, so call me after the show. So, and we'll be able to talk to you afterward. One more other thing. Before we get into, the other thing just escaped me. All right, let's talk about benefits. Throughout this week, one of the main concerns that was brought to me was early retirement. So we're going to get into early retirement. As of 2025, the income limit for early retirement is $23,400. What does that mean for you that's listening to me right now? What it means that now, Social Security they're not going to tell you how many hours you should work, how many days you should work, how much money you should earn. They're not going to do none of that. But basically, if you take in early retirement, what they tell you that if you go beyond $23,400 a year, then what they're going to do is hold back a certain amount for you. All right, let me take it back a little bit and really dive into it the way I normally do. So they said, we'll take an example. If you make $33,400, so for every $2 you make more, they're going to hold $1 for you. Now, we used to actually, when you come to me, and when I say we, basically it's me. When you come to me and tell me that you want to take early retirements, the first thing I would do, well, your wish is my command. I apply for you, and then you wait for the result, and then you get what you get, because what you get is based on your contribution to Social Security. You see, when you get your paycheck, you see there's a spot there that says FICO. and there's a spot for Medicare. FICO, they take your contribution is 6.5% of your gross income. Wow. So it's 6.5% of your gross income. So let's say that now your gross income is $33,400, and they take that for every $2 you make, they hold back $1 for you. So in actuality, you made $10,000 over the income limit. So they're going to hold back $5,000 for you. So, but that $5,000 is going back to you, because that $5,000, after they take it from your monthly payment. For example, if you're making $1,000 a month, so for the first 5 months, you're not going to get paid. They're going to hold that money, and they're going to add it to that 30. How much did I say? 33,400. They're going to add it to the 33,400. So now it's going to show for that year, your contribution is 38,400. The 38. Now they're going to take 6.5% of 38,400, and your employer is going to match that. So in actuality, you're actually gonna have a 13% of contribution. So 13% of contributions. So if for example, if the 6% equals to a quick math, 6% of 38,000 would be 10% is 3,800. So 6% is roughly about maybe about 2,500, right? So about 2,500. So the 6%, basically, your total contribution will be about 12%. So 3,800, give and take. So that's what's going to be your contribution. Plus, don't forget that your employer is matching that. So that's a good thing, because the way they're going to come back the following year and said, well, we've miscalculate your retirement benefits, and now we're going to make the adjustment, and you'll be receiving X amount from here forth. Now let's go back a little bit. Taking early retirement, it's usually, for most people, it's not a good idea. And we over the year, that's what we've learned, because over the year I may have a handful of people that I applied for that came back and said, I can't live on this type of a salary. Because remember, if you going back to those of you guys that came up here in the 70s, the 60s, the 70s, and even the 80s to a certain extent, the minimum wage was far less. I remember when I moved to the United States, I think minimum age, when I was at the age to work, what I knew what minimum wage age was $1.25. And I think minimum age right now is what, $10? $10, $12 minimum wage? So the amount that they're taking from you, so when you reach retirement age or early retirement age, what you're going to receive is not going to be sufficient to actually respond to all your needs. So that's why we do not encourage it. When you come to me and last month, a couple of months ago, I think it was, I had a few people that came in front of me and and wanted to take their retirement early. I trying to talk them out, but all I could do is give you the information, and whatever you do with it, that's on you. But I will give you the information, and we will talk more about early retirements. So for those of you who have questions right now, I'm into the studio in Miami, in North Miami Beach. So call down 305-945-1580, 305-945-1580. Whether you have a question in English and Creole, nous parlons Creole too. We just we're trying to encourage you to, for those of you who speak a little bit Creole. So that's why we bring in this show in English, so that we make sure that every single one of you do not miss it. Last night I had my sister referred this lady to me, and I was on the phone with her for over an hour regarding SSI. That's something that we're going to talk about it also. But hers was a bit complicated, and we'll talk more about that. I think for those of you who have, especially if you have any disabled children that's living at home, and so that's something I think we need to talk about, and we're going to talk about it in the second half of this show. So yes, early retirement, not a good idea to take early retirement, especially at 62. You're only getting 70%. So why should you be taking your money, your retirement early? And I've heard every single excuse that you could think of. The famous one is, I don't know when I'm going to die. Well, you didn't know when you're going to die before you reach the age of 62. So why are you worrying about that now? And I used to hear that, I want to take it now because I don't want to leave it for des ingrats. It's exactement. So it's not warranted. You shouldn't be taking it at the age of 62, because age of 62 you're only getting 70%. We've gone over the percentage over the years, and I think although we've gone over it, it's something that we should be repeating from time to time, so that those of you that's just listening, you don't fall into that trap. 305-945-1580, 305-945-1580. Let me hear from you. I need to hear maximum listeners on this next half hour. You who have a question regarding early retirement, please don't hesitate. Today, I want full participation from you guys. You know, it's interesting when I meet some of our listeners, and they tell me the good job we're doing and providing the information, and they say, although we're not calling in, but we're listening. But today I want you to listen and call in with your information, especially you guys. That's if you're driving right now, I don't want you to get into an accident. But if you have, if you're able to press that button, you have. I'm drawing a blank. If you have on your phone, you could tell Siri, dial the number for you. Bluetooth. If you have Bluetooth in your car, you could do it via Bluetooth without being distracted from your driving. So. We don't encourage you, but as soon as you get to a stop sign, you want to call, and then we'll answer your question as well. So 70%, and the percentage goes up 6.5% each year. The interesting thing also, several months ago, I found out even when you don't receive, you're not taking the retirement benefits when you reach 62. when they have a cost of living adjustment, while your money that's sitting there that's earning earning interest, you get a cost of living adjustment as well. So if you're 62, right now, as you sitting there, as you sitting wherever you're sitting, the cost of living adjustment that they gave, if you turned 62 last year, let me put it this way: if you turned 62 in 2024, the cost of living adjustment that everybody received in 2025, you as well received it. I don't know if I'm sounding right. I don't know if you guys hear me. If you turn 62 in 2024, we're in 2025 right now, right? So if we turn 62 in 2024, well, when you woke up January 1st, 2025, your contribution to Social Security that was sitting there, and that's another thing we're going to get into, because there's over $1 trillion sitting in the funds for Social Security. So when we hear that there's not going to be enough for those recipients to get their benefits, if there's $1 trillion sitting there, you don't have a trillion people getting benefits. Right now, you have about 68 million people in receiving retirement benefits. So we'll get into the different whys and then the do's and the don'ts and what's really happening. But the money is there. The money's there. So you have some people are already panicking what's going to happen. Remember, your Social Security benefits and your Medicare benefits, it's something that you work for. It's not a gift. It's not a gift. I had a conversation with a listener called me, I think it was on Monday. Yes. I wish I could play that show. He called on Monday, and I saw the name. The name popped up, and we had the conversation. And his question was a valid question. What do I think about what's going on right now? Because everybody's afraid that at any given time that the current administration could do something and wipe up everybody's benefits. Now, do not listen to conspiracy theorists. Do not listen to people who just want to put out false information out. Listen to me. Listen to me, and listen to me well. You work hard to get where you are. You work hard to accumulate 40 quarters. It's not something that was given to you. It's something that you work. And at the beginning of the show, I explained to you, you contributed about 6.5% of your gross salary, and your employer contribute another 6.5%. So where on earth would it say that somebody could come in and after you've worked hard, and some of you, there were times some of you was working in a field, picking up fruits, picking up vegetable, and today you tell me that after you've worked hard and somebody's going to take it and, as they also mentioned, is invested in the stock market. I think a lot of people are fear. I'm not going to mention any name. Fear that This billionaire is seething at the thought of being having control of $1 trillion sitting there, and said we're gonna invest it in something. It's not going to happen. I could almost bet on that it's not going to happen. Because one of the largest lobbyists in Washington is AARP. AARP, in case you guys don't know it, once you reach the age of 50 or 60, you get that card. They send you a card for you to become a member. So AARP, they are one of the largest lobbyists in Washington. Probably the second, or if not the number one, is the Jewish community. And not throwing shade at them, if they've learned the system, what to do, and how to manage the system, more power to them. But you have the seniors, that's probably the second largest group in the United States, and they vote. They vote. The vast majority of people my age or younger, they're not taking the time to go to the poll and vote. But you got to know what's the thing that's important to you. So no, that's not going to happen. You're not going to have anybody take away your Social Security retirement, because I know a lot of you're basically depending on that. And I was hearing a story about a gentleman that spent his entire life working, saving, and in a very short period of time, whether it was a bad investment or something in that nature, or sometimes they be involved in a Ponzi scheme, and lost his entire saving. So that's what he was basing on for him to retire. So now he's got to rely on Social Security. And Social Security retirement benefits was not made as your the only thing the only thing you could lean on regarding retirement benefits. So, and that individual, and especially in 2008, you hear story about a lot of people just jump off a building or kill themselves because of they lost everything. And I'm not saying that that's what you should be doing. Don't get me wrong. We could always start over. But retirement benefits, Social Security was not meant to be the only avenue that you have. But if it is, nobody's going to take it from you. Not 305-945-1580, 305-945-1580. So if you have any question about early retirement, once you get to, from the age of 62 to age of 66, yes, if you make over $23,400, for every $2 you make, they're going to hold a dollar. But once you reach the age of 66, the same year that you turn 66, the income limit is $55,400. I may be off a couple of hundred or so, but it's $55,400. For every $3 that you make, they're going to hold a dollar for you. And once you reach your full retirement age, which is 67, then you could work, make over $1 billion. We're not talking about millions anymore. You could make over $1 billion, and they're not going to hold any money for you. 305-945-1580, 305-945-1580. I want to, for the next 30 minutes, I want to talk about SSI. And we're going to talk about SSI in terms of the purpose of SSI, and also for people with disability, how does it impact their lives? Let's talk about the people on disability. The rule says that if you were born with a disability if you were born with a disability, or you become disabled before the age of 22, then you're automatically entitled to get SSI. Now, again, people are panicking, and right now we are in a period of uncertainty. Let me give you the rules of SSI first of all. For you to be eligible to receive SSI, you have to be 65 or older, or you have to be disabled before the age of 22. You cannot leave the country, the United States, and its territory for no more than 30 days. You cannot have no more than, as an individual, no more than $2,000 in your account. Yesterday, I had a conversation with one, probably a listener. He's probably listening right now. One of our patients, and his limit is $2,000, but he's concerned about the fact that the his bank account. The balance that he has there is very close to $2,000. So he's afraid that if he goes in there, if he doesn't go in there, remove some of money, then they're going to penalize him. And I thought to him and said, listen, go to the bank, withdraw some money, and hold on to that money. But, he had some certain concerns. One, how to get there. Two, taking out all that money, where he's going to put it. So SSI will not allow you to have no more than $2,000 in your account. But you have to manage it. And the way you manage it, if you're paying rent off from that account, you're paying electricity from that account, you got to take some money for food. Although, if you want SSI, you're eligible for food stamp. So even though you have the food stamp, and, well, let's not get into the food stamp issue, because we've been hearing about a lot of fraud going on. So we're not going to get into that today, because as I'm talking, and every time I say something, there's a lot of things that pops up, and valid. But that, if we're going to cover everything, we're going to go to the next show and the next show and the next show. But yes, so you have the food stamp, and if it's warranted, you get a little cash, add it with the food stamp, because the goal is while you're sitting here, while you're still alive, to eat well, sleep well, drink well, and live well. I think sometimes we are not living as well as we should with the amount that we have. I don't know why I say that. Probably because I've seen some individuals the way they live, and So we have to do better. 305-945-1580, 305-945-1580. Call me now. We'd like to hear from you. So the other thing, the other rule we mentioned about not you can't leave the United States and its territory for no more than 30 days. You can't have more than $2,000 in your account. And if there's any changes that happen in your life you have to report it within 10 days. What else? You have to be a U.S. citizen. That's very important. You have to be a U.S. citizen. I think we have a call. So you have to be a U.S. citizen. And so those rules dictate whether you're going to be eligible or not. Those rules are going to dictate whether you're going to be eligible or not too. We have a call. Hello, you in the air. Hello, you in the air.
Oui, comment il fait?
En forme, qui j'en ai?
J'aimerais vous féliciter l'émission, même longtemps de monde pas les n'a sur l'émission quand même.
M'apprécie ça.
Moi les du côté Boaoud et pour faire une belle émission là, mais une petite question me poser s'il vous plaît.
OK.
Bon, nous on a dit on est qui 70 ans. C'est vous dire bon Dieu merci, premièrement tomber mourir. Et les avantages qui gagnent et sous ta point de disabilité ou bien sociale là à 62 ans.
OK. Deux bagailles. Ouais, si c'est des habilités on prend à 62 ans, depuis à bord des habilités, on prend des habilités. Most likely, you pas bord des habilités à 62 ans. Parce qu'il y a des gens qui sont éligibles pour prendre un retirement benefit pour prendre un retirement benefit. Mais il n'y a pas d'avantage pour prendre un retirement benefit à l'âge de 62 ans. Il n'y a pas d'avantage. OK? Moi, explique. Et ceci, presque chaque jour, il y a des gens qui prouvent que l'on prend un retirement benefit à l'âge de 62 ans, il y a toujours retourné au dire que on mettre les sur radio 305 945 15 80 305 945 15 80. Yeah, it's proven chaque fois que quelqu'un qui parle avec moi dit bon, je te prends semaine ça, on commence semaine ça mal en rendez-vous quoi c'était lundi on va comme ça.
Oui.
Et dans le rendez-vous et puis l'homme qui vient dans le rendez-vous, madame t'a parlé que il regrette que le fait que le prend un retirement là à 62 ans. Parce que comme il n'est pas suffit, il est obligé de continuer le travail. Et tu as l'autre côté, tu allé semaine avant, tu as un jeune homme, bien sûr, jeune homme lui-même, Jean que il n'a pas exprimé là. Tu es un petit genre qui m'a dit qu'à utiliser. Bon, comme un professionnel aussi supposé comprendre la situation maintenant, mais je ne suis pas vraiment connaît de ça qu'elle a parlé. Mais seul ça connaît que quand il a travaillé là, il y a un peu de monde qui prend un retirement en bonheur et puis après ça, il continue à travailler. Mais il y a des gens qui prennent un retirement là, le fait que physiquement, il n'y a pas qu'à continuer de travailler, il y a des gens qui prennent pour que yo ka gagner un cob ça un supplémentaire.
Oui.
OK, de cob y a recevoir avec ça comme ça et puis on mettre ensemble pour yo ka vivre mais plus devant yo réaliser que c'est pas un bas. Exactement, son erreur que yo fait parce que l'arrive même quand on continue à travailler ou à contribuer dans la social sécurité mais ou pas jamais arriver 6% et demi que yo augmente l'âme chaque année. Ou pas jamais arriver match 6% ça parce que montant que yo prend yo divise le pour un nombre de temps. So non, pas sujet pour que aucun monde prend à 62 ans en autant sous 65 ou bien 66 ans parce que tout autant chaque année c'est 6% et demi qui a augmenté sur lui.
OK.
OK? So
OK, professeur.
oui.
Mais l'autre problème qui vient, tant qu'on il y a des personnes depuis à 70 ans, ils n'ont pas qu'à travailler encore. Et il y a ça qui tombe dans la disabilité, il y a ça c'est accident au fait, ils ne viennent pas qu'à travailler encore. Et il y a stroke dans le parcours. Et premièrement, son méchant, c'est quand même il fait. Moi, avant, nous pas qu'à changer. Est-ce que vous comprenez ça, Mabdou? Il est supposé augmenter, faire augmentation, même l'autre après 70 ans, l'autre il est 65. Ça, au tabac, même l'autre qui a retiré un petit bagage là, parce que moi-même, je parle, je ne pas tellement bien imbibé. Même temps, on a parlé tout, qui dit depuis pour la 70 ans, est-ce que vous comprenez ça, Mabdou là? Et c'est ça, c'est lié parce que l'autre, 65, 66 ans, il n'y a pas aucune augmentation qui fait. Ça, c'est comme ça lié.
Bon, il augmente chaque année qu'on pas prendre, il augmente à 6% et demi. Mais là que qu'on l'on va comprendre. Mais l'on prend l'an qu'on y a, même là que vous travaillez ou contribuez. OK? Mais quand vous contribuez, on dit que vous contribuez, je fais un calcul tout à l'heure, on dit que la contribution là, c'est égal à $3,000. Mais $3,000, ça, là, on prend le qu'on y a, on va dire que, OK, nous te payons en plus, vous fait calcul là, ça, on prend, vous mettez sous ça, on fait pour l'année, et puis vous prend 6% en contribution pour social là, et puis qu'on y a ça passé. Reste mon montant, ça, qu'on y a, vous dit qu'il y a commencé, il y a une augmentation, mais l'augmentation, ça, qu'on y a, vous stretch pour un nombre de temps. So, vraiment, vous prenez en gros, mais si on parle, les très minimes, ils pas font vraiment un impact dans la vie.
OK.
So,
mais, professeur.
Oui.
Sorry, parce que...
Pas un problème. Depuis qu'on a pas d'informations, c'est professeur, oui.
Tant qu'on... Pour un nègre qui... Ou bien une fille qui fait stroke. Qu'on y vient qualifier pour disabilité.
Oui.
Est-ce que code disabilité avec social là, c'est deux codes différents?
Non, c'est le même code là. Au contraire, disabilité d'ordinaire, mon temps qu'on va recevoir pour disabilité est beaucoup plus haut que le code social là. OK? So, des bouquins éligibles pour social là, pour disabilité, appliqué pour disabilité. Now, avant de descendre en bas, c'est là, je me rencontre avec un jeune homme, un musicien. Go shout out à musicien ça. Je ne sais pas parce qu'il n'a pas permission pour nous maintenant. Moi, côté avec monsieur, mais monsieur déjà pour recevoir social sécurité. Sur la pour recevoir un chèque social sécurité. Mais quand il a l'appliqué pour disabilité, il n'y a pas bali disabilité.
Il n'y a pas
non, parce que excusez-moi. Faut que yo prend comme yo prend sous yo mettez l'enfant. C'est même fond ça qui kembe si que kounya ou vin disabled, c'est le même fond ça va prendre encore pour payer.
Comme social là.
Exactement. So on pas besoin de deux chèques qui sorti dans même fond, son seul chèque on besoin.
Mais ça coûte chèque de disabilité, on nous dit, bon, presque $1,200 au voyez mon nom pour disabilité. Parce que mon monde pas point qui dans situation. Mais, elle dit, je ne peux pas oublier mon nom pour qualifier pour recevoir social. Mais c'est disabilité, il balite comme ça toujours. Mais là, mon arrive finalement qualifié pour social sécurité à l'âge normal. Est-ce qu'il n'y a pas d'augmentation qui fait que dans petit cop $1,200 balia, c'est une qualifiée qu'on y a pour social.
L'arrivée à l'âge de 65 ans, ça va le passer, disabilité a automatiquement viré à retirement benefits.
Beautiful.
OK? ou pas senti changement, yo juste a fait changement.
Ok.
Grande différence qui gagne kounya. Pardon?
Qui côté mon après ouais ça dans cob la pour recevoir.
Cob la recevoir a toujours été même genre. Si que pas même
a toujours été même genre.
Yes. Si que pas porter attention pour les que déposit là. Leur fait direct déposit là pour lui. Pour garder côté cob la sorti après que différence là pour retirement benefit c'est SSA. Pour disability benefit c'est SSDI. SSDI. C'est seulement différence à côté. Il n'est pas sorti dans disabilité, qu'il a sorti dans retirement benefits. Il est juste viril. Différence, c'est que qu'il y a restriction qu'on te gagne si qu'on pas travail, si qu'on pas travail, ou pas de restriction ça encore.
Ou pas gagner encore.
Non. OK?
Ça veut dire, comme mon ami, par exemple, $1,200, monsieur recevoir les effets de disabilité, mais monsieur pour qu'on qualifie pour social, ça veut dire chiffre ça n'a pas changé.
La seule façon de changer, c'est les cost of living adjustment. C'est quoi, année ça, tout le monde joue 3,2% quoi de cost of living adjustment. Là que nous avons une période d'inflation, so vous voulez qu'il y ait pouvoir d'achat à un niveau, so you buy un pourcentage augmentation. C'est la seule façon que y a une augmentation.
Mais je sens qu'il n'y a pas ni fou simple, rien, monsieur, parce qu'il y a 2 ans, il va travailler.
Mais ouais, même, prenez mon téléphone, moi. Ou après, les 954 667. De vous attendre l'émission, ça, ou toujours jeune numéro de téléphone. Je ne pas jeune qui n'a pas battu de problème. Parce que
665
954 667 4885.
OK,
relève et puis n'a pas un appointement dans le nouveau local là côté que n'a pas appliqué pour food stamp pour pas coûter rien, n'a pas appliqué pour Medicare pour lui. Tout bail. Et dans le nouveau local là même qui t'a même citoyen américain n'a fait ça là tout pour tout gratis chez même service que nous habitué qu'on habitué faire. Sur le nouveau local on a continué même type de service et beaucoup plus encore. OK? Mais quoi nouveau local apparaît à partir de ça supposé paraît à partir du 1er mai. So on a venu semaine prochaine on a venu avec plus d'informations sur ça.
Et mais pas de problème, m'a essayé des informations, monsieur. Ça va gagner moins fait mais et ça combien de jours dans semaine nous fait émission ça?
Bon, moi tous les lundis 3h 4h et les mercredis 2h à 4h. Et le mercredi, nous sommes au casse 3h, 4h entre deux stations, 15,80 avec 13,20.
Beautiful.
OK?
Et mes frères, nous pas M. Bolivar, nous sommes contents ensemble avant parce que nous voulons comprendre, même l'autant de nous parler, nous l'attendons d'émission ou pas seul dans le cadre d'une technique là.
Merci, m'apprécier ça.
Et pas un problème.
OK, passez bonne journée.
OK, nous même tout frère.
OK. 305 945 1580, 305 945 1580. On ne va faire aucune idée. Là que parce que ouais question que jeune homme ça posé là m'pas exactement on idée combien moun k'ap tande là actuellement. Même ka garanti nan moun k'ap tande on dit que si nous avons affaire de 5,000 moun k'ap tande kounye. Si nous prend bras bon, ça nous pas exagérer si nous a dit 5,000 moun. Allô ou dans l'air? Allô?
Mais comment il a fait?
En forme.
Mais mon question est vous. Mais qui a nos supposés faits pour qualifier pour retirement?
Bon, ouais, tout le monde qui fait en 1960 actuellement, ou faire même répondre au deuxième appel et m'a répondre. Alors, ou dans l'air, tout le monde qui fait en 1960, full retirement, c'est 67 ans. So, c'est sous ça qu'on a constaté pour le moment. So, si je parle, l'autre auditeur, si je parle pour une question là, retournez l'élément quoi. Alors, ou dans l'air?
Ok, Gilbert, bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
Mon cher, moi, là, c'est pour me reprocher par le fait que, ou gagnons office ouvert. C'est Michelet, oui. On va jamais approuver ça tout le temps, ça va faire.
Michelet. Attendez.
C'est ça.
Michelet.
Oui.
Attendez. M'gen non là pour m'relo, m'abrelo. Tout bagaille en cours. C'est ça qui fait que mercredi prochain, ça nous une planification pour que tout le monde qui a une question pour n'a répondre question dans l'air sans problème avec toute franchise.
Parce que c'est pour nous dire que je parle de travail. Si on n'a pas de préoccupation, même si je cours, c'est une chose que je me dans les Gilbert.
M'apprécie ça. So, n'a venu avec information, n'a venu avec adresse nouveau local là. Nouveau local là beaucoup plus grand que ancien. Tout service que nous débaillons.
En tout cas, ma blague pour l'autre point et qu'on a même plus de une côté même jusqu'à ce que vous me donniez l'information.
Exactement, pas un problème avant. Non, pas dans l'ancien local là encore, non? Pas dans l'ancien local là. Au contraire, sous besoin, je viens la caillou. Zorelem, si le fond vient la caillou, nous chita nous parler.
Ah, mais pas de problème.
Ok. Pas un problème, n'importe où.
Pas de problème.
Ok. Pour un auditeur là, les dépenses sur l'année que vous faites là, comme qu'on y a considéré sur le monde qui fait de 1960 ou plus, tout le monde qui fait en 1960, full retirement age, c'est 67 ans. Now, si que qu'on y a ou décidé pour prendre à l'âge de 62 ans, c'est ça que nous pas recommandé. Nous pas recommandé pour prendre l'âge de 63, 64, 65, 66. Prends la 66 s'il le faut. Alors oui, ou dans l'air.
Yes, c'est moi qui pour qui a né au capable fait pour capable qualifier pour retirement.
OK.
Et moi l'autre voulais question encore, bah on va poser tout.
Posez, c'est pour ça nous là.
Mais so question de 401k. I mean, the 401k it's like you have to be 65 to get your money from the 401k, right?
No. 59 and a half.
Okay, 59 and a half. Why they have to charge you like 25% to cobs out or what?
I think if you si que vous prenez le bonheur avant 59 ans et demi, oui, il y a chargé une pénalité.
Mais les mots de mon dit c'est pas ça, mon dit c'est taxe que vous chargez parce que vous êtes touché comme ça avant before I get paid.
Yes. It's 401k de gens de travail. Yo prend quoi là avant yo pas prend taxe sur quoi vous contribuer. Okay? So they took it before tax.
Yes.
So le fait que vous prenez before tax, son façon que yo fait pour que yo ka encourager c'est moi anglais just as moi absolument dans bouche me l'échappe tout. Puis bon incentive pour que au lieu de pour rester sur social sécurité mais au gon l'autre on lot income qu'on peut appuyer sur yo. So tout autant qu'on va contribuer n'importe mon capteur de la 401k a son bel retirement fund that ou ka investir là-dedans. Vous mettez 15% et puis hopefully employer a match les avant.
Yeah, employer match li, mais employer mwen 6%, yo match you up to 6%. Mais ça dépend anyway. Mais ça permet the economy is dropping down to nothing right now. Stock market dropping like more than 1,000 points per jour.
Exactly. That's where it doesn't. That's where you everybody's 401k has taken a hit in the past few days.
The past few, I mean, they're killing me, man. They pull my gut out. Mais, malgré qu'elle t'a dit ça, let me say, what the heck is going on? Let me say, ma moi, parce que, you know, si femme vient en France, qui n'a pas tellement mal, même du what, tout comme ça, on va le prendre. Mais le total plus c'est moi presque 20% lié.
Yes. Bon, là, on connaît le gouvernement. Attendez, le gouvernement lui-même, si pas là, la prend, qui tout est vrai, qui tout pas de vrai. Si pas là.
C'est son dernier, son faveur été fait, nous, on prend ça pour nous mettre, parce que si vous regardez, si comme ça, c'est la bas, moi, c'est extrêmement difficile pour nous suivre avec lui. Right now, it's very, very difficult for us to live with it. But at least the 401k you get côté, I'm pas saying well, that's for you. Et puis là, pour nous, on chap li avec qui ça au bon dans retirement là, et vous suivez avec. Mais moi, j'ai une question encore pour moi,
oui, oui.
Vraiment, beaucoup, vraiment, in life with that, même close to. Mais no job is a good job. So, what do you think?
Tout autant qu'on travaille. Travail. Parce que you know mais bagage c'est là que ou gen kob nan men même là que ou vinn pas ka travail qu'on y a ou gen kob nan men ou ka arrêter en côté qui plus ou moins qui m'a utilisé that you secure nice sous besoin manger ou ka manger tout bagage ça. So, tout le temps qu'on fait ça. Parce que.
Mais question me pose encore, si tu as retiré, combien d'heures tu travailles after retirement? That's what I'm talking about.
After retirement, you could work as number of hours that you would like. Doesn't matter.
I mean, if you retire from the 65, can you make 60 hours, 50 hours a week?
No, 65 will be considered early retirement right now.
Oh.
So if you were born in 1960, for example, your full retirement age is 67.
Jesus, man.
I feel you. Trust me, I feel you.
67, you don't have nothing left. I mean.
Well, no. Let's not think that way. You still have a lot left in the pipe. Take care of yourself. Drink a lot of water. Exercise. I'm gonna call me back on the other hour because we're gonna introduce the show and restart the show. We're coming back in the next hour with all your questions. Right. You're listening to Source of Information. See you shortly. Bye.